everyone. I assume not all of you know me, so just so no one thinks I'm catfishing tonight, I am a transgender woman, not a very boring drag queen. I don't want anyone to be disappointed. There will be no singing, no dancing, no death drops, none of that. This is not RuPaul's Drag Race, I'm sorry. But do please throw money at me the entire time I'm up here, that's fine. Yes, it is 2023, that's our new rule this year, always throw money at trans women. But paper currency only, none of the coins in the sock shit, I'm not a kid anymore. I grew up a Jehovah's Witness in the Midwest, so I fit right in, easy sailing. No, it sucked. It was garbage. I was 16 the first time I ever came out to anyone in my family, and I came out to my mom because she's shorter than me. And I remember saying, "Mom, I'm so sorry, I think I'm bi. And yes, I'm trans, but it was the 90s, so we went with bi, baby steps." I said, "Mom, I'm so sorry, I think I'm bi." And she looked at me with the most gentle look in her face, and she said, "Baby, I love you no matter what. Just don't let white men ejaculate in your booty hole, because that's how you get the AIDS." And we never spoke of it again. That was the only sex talk ever had in my family. And I want all of you to know that since that day, I have allowed plenty of white men to ejaculate in my booty hole. You're much more likely to catch COVID. Point being, my point is, always mask up if you're playing a raw dog, all right? I'm trying to keep you healthy, Portland. I do get a bad reputation sometimes for hating men because of all the times I say I hate men, but it's not true. It's not true at all. I actually love men. I love men like a terminal illness because I know it will eventually take my life, It's fun. My older brother hasn't fully come to terms with the idea of me being his little sister, though. So anytime it comes up in like a family conversation, he'll just assign me a different identity. And his favorite go-to is, "Dolly's not trans. No. She's just a weird dude." And thank you, Portland. You're all very progressive, rushing to judge my brother, and stop it. I don't think my brother's transphobic, homophobic, bigoted, none of it. I think he's just a weird dude. And I like that we can have that in common, I just like to bring people together. That's all. And also, you have to stop and consider how difficult my brother's life is, waking up every single night of his life from vivid nightmares of his own face sucking dicks. Like, we're talking about a lot of dicks. We look exactly the same if I take off my makeup. Or if he puts a little on, evens out the complexion. It's gotta be confusing. It's true. While I'm here, though, I do want to go ahead and clear up some misconceptions about trans women. My least favorite stereotype about us is that we're all sneaking around trying to trick people into touching our penises, and that is absolutely false, okay? I'm a bottom. If you so much as see my penis, you're doing something terribly wrong, and that's on you. It's not my fault that you have bad aim. That doesn't make any sense. Also, I've known plenty of other trans women throughout my life, and not one has ever once shut up about being trans. It doesn't happen. Seriously, we're worse than Christians and vegans. The only possible way you wouldn't know that a woman is transgender is if you don't listen while women are speaking. And again, that's on you, not me at all. I did once have a guy ask me if it makes a man gay to be attracted to me, which is a wild question to ask while you're inside someone. The other thing I don't like about that question is I don't know. There's no foolproof way of me knowing. You might very well be gay. You might not be gay. Either way, it's $400 an hour. Cash at me and leave. Why are we making this complicated? I should mention I am very old-fashioned in my values. I do believe gentlemen should pay for everything on a date, for example. And not just the first date, but every single date. And for one valid reason. And that is, if there's a very high probability of my body being found under a hotel mattress, I feel it's your responsibility to make sure my stomach is full of steak and lobster when the police get there. Does that seem fair? You know, just give me something to look back on fondly as I ride that great mattress into the sky. If nothing else, while you're choking me out, I want to imagine the coroner cutting me open later that night thinking, damn, this bitch ate good. Is that really so much for me to expect? I don't think so. My partner tells me that my main issue with dating men is that I intimidate men. They claim I intimidate men, and I don't think that's true. Like, yes, I am gorgeous, I am brilliant, I am hilarious. I'm kind of a big fucking deal. But I'm still a woman, and I can still be gaslit. Come on, man, I'm a keeper. No, I think the actual issue most heterosexual men have with me is the penis. And again, I'm not a kid, I'm not naive, I get it, okay? I understand. Like, if you make direct eye contact with my penis, it's kind of gay. But hear me out. If you just apply threesome rules to the situation, right? You ignore the other penis, and you focus on the fat ass between you and the other dick, no homo, you're in the clear. It's easy. Perfectly simple. There's also a lot of fuss about trans women playing sports, and I have to tell you, I don't know anything about sports. Nothing at all. Nothing. So I had to do my own independent research to form an educated opinion on this issue. So I went ahead and I Googled transgender women, and it was page after page after page of white women. And I assume we can all agree white people are bad at sports. So, no threat there. But since I exist, I know that not all trans women are actually white. So I went ahead and I Googled black trans women, and they were all dead. And I don't know if you know this, but cadavers, terrible at sports. They can't even win at life. That's a kid's game. But even so, I didn't want to cave to my progressive confirmation bias. So I went ahead and I Googled happy, successful black trans women, flourishing, thriving, living their best lives. It was just a picture of me and RuPaul. So women's sports are doing just fine. Relax. It's okay. Admittedly, I have had a few run-ins with fame over the years, and I gotta tell you, what I've learned from those experiences, I don't want to be famous. I don't. What I actually want to be is rich. And I want to be very clear, I don't mean black people rich, because I already have multiple jobs. What I want is wealth, you know, multi-generational wealth and residual income, money I don't have to work for, money I can just make work for me, and if I happen to have a child with that money, just sell that nigga off to the next plantation. That's a joke about capitalism and slavery. I know it's a very touchy subject for white people right now, but, you know, we got over it, so can you. It will be fun. Now, honestly, more than white people rich, I want to be like Jay-Z level rich, all right? Jay-Z purchased the most recent Super Bowl. Do you know this? He bought the Super Bowl. And that's not actually that impressive. Anyone with enough money could do it. He bought the Super Bowl and had them perform Lift Every Voice and Sing, the Black National Anthem. And here's a secret, white people. No one likes that song. It's a shitty, shitty song. That's why it's the Black National Anthem. It's as melodically garbage as the Star Spangled Banner, but for black people. He was able to make y'all listen to it. That's amazing. I also wouldn't mind being Rick Ross rich. Rick Ross is so rich, he owns a ranch in rural Georgia where he raises cattle, including 2 buffalo he was gifted for his birthday. You know, as we all are from time to time. Someone gave him 2 buffalo. And because Rick Ross, like myself, believes in personal agency and autonomy, he allows his buffalo to free graze through the neighborhood. And recently, one of his neighbors complained. She felt the buffalo were a danger to her children, which is a reasonable complaint, I would say. In this case, I'm siding with the white woman. It's rare. I'm glad this is getting captured on camera. I sided with the white woman this time, okay. So she complained. She's like, hey, your buffalo, they're in my backyard. They're scaring my kids. So Rick Ross took to Instagram and released an apology video in which he is blasting his own music while he drinks a bottle of his own tequila. And his entire response to her complaint, by the way, you can't really figure out how he's feeling from the eyes because he's also wearing his own brand of sunglasses. And he says, you know, I just love the animals, and that's why it's important that you collar your animals so people know where to return them. But I don't put collars on my buffalo, because I'm the only person with buffalo in this neighborhood. So if you see my buffalo, they're so kind, they're so gentle. Just feed them a carrot or something, bring them on home. That's how rich I want to be. I want to be so rich, I can endanger white children. You've been beautiful, I love you. Have a great night.
Just call your bell, everybody!